Overthinking, as we all know, is kind of annoying. It's also complete bullshit unless you know how to handle it properly. So in today's video, I'm going to go over how you can handle the negative side of overthinking and then how you can actually captivate and take advantage of the good side of overthinking. So if we look at where overthinking comes from, usually overthinking comes from fear of failure, rejection, and starting small. A lot of you guys watching this video are probably in the beginning stages of your business and you have no capital, you have maybe no social media, you have very little knowledge about what you're actually doing, which causes you to overthink about every single decision within your business. Now, overthinking is actually your brain trying to think your way out of discomfort, okay? If we look at any problem that we're gonna have in business, we need to know that shit's hard, okay? Business is hard. Now, on the other side of that, discomfort is the price of growth. Overthinking is your brain trying to get you away from the discomfort. It's trying to get you to calculate and find some other alternative to complete whatever you're trying to complete without wasting so much time or without putting in so much hard work or whatever. It's honestly your brain trying to gaslight yourself out of doing whatever it is you're trying to do. Now, the only real way to solve this is I like to think of it as a test, okay? When you have a test in school, there's a study that shows that people who go back and think again and pick a second answer, chances are that second answer is wrong, okay? So your instincts are always right. Now, if we pay attention and listen to our instincts, we have more ability to be right. Right? So, to go along with that, the more information you consume, the more YouTube videos you watch, the more books you read, the more fucking mentorships you buy, courses you buy, communities you join, the more information you have, which then just adds to the confusion and the fucking clutter in the mind. It's you going out, over consuming, hoping that you're going to find some holy grail information in there. And then your brain's sitting here overanalyzing it like, oh no, I know there's some way to do this with a little more comfort, some way to do this where you don't have to post, some way to do this where you can put in a quarter of the effort and somehow get the same result. Because if we go through human nature, humans are inevitably lazy. Every single one of us is lazy as fuck. Lazy as fuck. And majority of us are fun-oriented. So fun-oriented, lazy as fuck. Building a business is not necessarily fun-oriented unless you know how to handle it. But it's also hard as fuck, which means you can't be lazy. So you need to stop giving yourself permission to go ahead and act, because overthinking can also just be paralleled with procrastination. They kind of go hand in hand. And when you're trying to give yourself permission to start, when you're sitting here thinking okay, well, should I do this? I think maybe if I wait a week and go through this course, I'll have the information. No, the fuck you won't. You never will. If you had just started and not overthought or procrastinated, you would probably be 10 steps fucking closer. But you decided to overanalyze. Now, why do you continue to overthink even after watching videos on overthinking, even after analyzing your own actions and determining the fact that you overthink? Why do you continue to do it? It's simple. Fear of failure. especially when you're trying new things. If you have never run ads before, you're going to overthink about the best ad strategy. Okay? If you have never posted before, you're going to worry about how to make the perfect video. If you have never started a business before, you're going to worry about starting the most profitable business or the best business to start in 2025. You probably watched that fucking YouTube video. And now you're sat here thinking, well, I don't really want to do that, but if it's the best, I have to. And I don't know how to. So now I got to figure out how. When it comes to how, is it something that I want to do, don't want to do? Is it going to be hard? What do I think about it? What do I need to learn? Now you're overthinking before you even started doing anything. Because you're just stuck in the ideation stage. That's what happens to a lot of people. I mean, I can remember going back 5 years and doing e-commerce, and I would overthink about product fucking research, overthink about my store being built out properly, overthink about how I'm going to run the ads and consume countless different strategies 24/7 when I could have just stuck to one strategy and probably made 10 times the amount of money. And I could have stuck to the product I know works rather than overthinking and being like, well, there might be too many competitors with this product and there might be this, so maybe it's best if we just keep researching and never take action. Because that's what your brain's doing to you. It's causing you not to take action. Which leads me into the solution of overthinking. The solution to overthinking is action. Because action gives clarity, okay? And sitting still breeds doubt. So, if you want to overcome overthinking, simply act. Everybody says this type of shit all the time, but for some reason, if you're watching this video, you obviously haven't listened. Action, inaction. Thinking, action. Action every single fucking time. A lot of you guys worry about, oh, is this going to be, is this right? Is this? Shut up. Act. You'll know it's right when you fucking fail, won't you? But you're too scared of fucking failing. Even though you know and you've consumed so much fucking content from Tate and everybody else that literally says, well, you have to fear to take a step forward, 2 steps back, and then a couple more steps forward, 2 steps back, and then a couple more. You're gonna fail. It's part of life. So just do it. Figure out what the fuck went wrong, figure out what you did right, and improve upon it every single time. And keep walking up the fucking steps. You can't jump from point A to point B. You can't. You gotta take the baby steps. You gotta learn how to walk before you can run, so stop trying to run. Shit's never gonna be perfect. And if you wanna stop overthinking, you need to act. Now, sitting still breeds doubt. That's a big one. Because obviously it's just the inverse of action. If action gives clarity, then sitting still breeds doubt. So stop sitting still and make yourself busy. The more YouTube you watch, the more time you think, everything. I even find myself doing it sometimes. But you know what? 5 days ago when I signed up to that webinar, I said, listen, I'm going to run this exact funnel after I get the webinar done. Hey, you know what I'm doing? I'm running that fucking funnel. And if it fails or parts of it fail, then I simply improve them. You do not gain anything by sitting still. There is no amount of knowledge you need that you cannot get through action. So simply take fucking action. Take responsibility for your actions. Learn from your actions and keep moving forward. Now, let's talk about the flip side of overthinking, because some of it is beneficial. And here's about the only way it's beneficial. Overthinking about a problem you have within your business after you've already taken action and started and everything. Overthinking about certain situations is very beneficial. I can sit here and think for about 5 minutes on what's going to happen with this funnel, and I begin to think of all possible solutions and what I need to do to solve those immediately. There's a book by Patrick David that was like my next 5 moves or some shit. Pretty much the goal in business is to always be a step ahead. You launch this marketing campaign, you know it can go wrong if this thing fails, and you simply prepare. You prepare. That doesn't mean you put a whole bunch of shit in action. That doesn't mean you stop taking action on the marketing plan. You just know in the back of your mind that stuff can go wrong. And here's all the problems that can happen. Here's what I'm going to do immediately to solve them. And now you have a fast action plan to get shit done. Now you're not sitting there waiting to take action. No different than if you were to talk to somebody about something and you know that if you say this one thing to them, it's going to spark a whole entire conversation that you don't really have time for. And they're going to talk about this. You can sit there and figure out how you're going to get out of that conversation. You can sit there and figure out how you're going to get out of that problem. But it's not a sitting there for a couple hours. No, you sit there, figure it out, done. And it doesn't need to be perfect either. None of that shit's going to be perfect, but you just need to know what your next steps are. Okay, if this fails, this is going to go into action. Done. But that's after you already launched the marketing campaign. It's not something that's going to make you sit there and sit still. Like we said, sitting still breeds doubt. Action brings clarity. So we're not going to sit still. We're going to act, gain clarity on the situation, think about what could go wrong with the situation, act again with our mind, and think positively about, we know there's going to be problems. What problems are we going to need to solve? And now we're done. Because we know that if this type of funnel gets put in place and we have a 2-call close, that if all of the leads we're getting are extremely unqualified, we simply need to make better content. We need to give more before the calls. We need to educate the prospect more. Okay, now, while we launch this campaign and this funnel, and we have the ads going here to here to here to here to here, we are now currently building up different ways for them to get nurtured before the fucking call. See how easy that was? 2 problems technically right there. And they're both solved. Because all it takes is a little bit of thinking. A little bit, not a lot. And you're overthinking about the problem solution aspect. And that way, you know what your next steps are. But don't overthink and not take action. Remember, action gives clarity, sitting still breeds doubt. So fucking act.